What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Vermont Scale Customs. Thanks for stopping by. It has been a seriously long amount of time since my last voiceover video. Thanks much for your patience. I know that you all have missed my buttery smooth voice talking its way through a video. I built a truck, another one. Well, I didn't really build a truck. I just got the body the other day. Obviously, this is the Injora IR60 in 124. And I got the, what is it called? The Sandy Taupe, I believe is the name of this one. And I got this color because it reminds me very much of my 1985 Toyota 4Runner that I used to have back in the early 90s. It was this exact same color. Anyway, so this thing showed up. I think it was yesterday during the day. I got it quickly put together last night and just painted the vents and the grill up front and kind of got everything sort of slapped together earlier today, Sunday, and decided to take this thing downstairs and run it on the indoor course. So since I have this thing sitting right in my hands, I can actually kind of go through what this one is. This is the Gladiator that was on a couple videos here not long ago, a couple months ago. The one with the diecast body. And while I like the diecast, you know, I kind of have a thing for trying to make, you know, things that shouldn't work. It was really kind of hindering the performance of this, and this also still needed some further suspension work in order to really kind of make it do what it's capable of doing, at least at this point. It still needs even yet more work, but it's a lot better than what it was. So, micro Komodo in there, along with Lizard Pro powering this thing, running on a FlySky FS2A, little micro radio, 2S power for now. And I've been bouncing back and forth with a couple different batteries. It's got a ramp crab, one of their kind of like middle of the road servos, and that thing is very picky for voltage, and it seems to want to glitch out quite a bit once the voltage reaches a certain point with the battery. So I've noticed with the with the Lizard Pro ESC that I just got to pay really attention. I actually kind of alter I raise my voltage cutoff so I don't really get quite as much time running this. Anyway, I think these are old Injora axles. I don't think these are Treals, but they have some really good CVs up front. Yes, it has Injora double barrels on it. They're limited up front, but they have SCX24 coils out back, and they're kind of allowed to just sort of float and do what they want. And what else did I put on this thing? RC4WD drive competition beadlocks on there, as well as some KM3s. I got these wheels and tires specifically for the Jeep setup, and I really liked them for the look on that. And I think actually they, performance-wise and everything, they're really kind of the perfect setup for this truck. And these are the kind that actually don't have the hex on the back. These are just for the pins. They make two different ons. There's one that has a 7mm hex. And so the track width on this is the track width on this, unless I decide to switch axles or switch rims entirely. And I don't feel like switching rims. I think I'm going to leave this thing pretty much the way it is. And that's kind of the reason, one of the reasons why right there, being able to make that breakover with, you know, little bit of effort, and it's because of the ultra high clearance links. You can see how much clearance it has down below. It's kind of proportionally seems like it's, you know, kind of close to accurate. And so I didn't want to go too crazy with any larger tire. Certainly don't want to go any smaller. Not going to run portals or anything like that on this. Not going to try and experiment with that. I kind of went through that whole thing with the Gladiator and probably about 2 or 3 different refinements with that. And so what I did with this, with the suspension on it, I needed to switch out the rear springs, and I needed to add a link riser on this. Since I switched from just the normal Injora High Clearance links in the back and went with the Ultra High Clearance from Nick Albin, I needed to flip the uppers around and kind of put a little bit of a bend in them so they would clear the Ultra High Clearance. And along with that, I had to put a link riser in order to just have that much more, basically. You know, it kind of gives me about 1 or 2 millimeters of clearance from the plate that's in the back, and you know, not staking any claims on whether or not it helps it climb or anything like that. I think just the way the thing is weighted I wouldn't call it that I have it set up mullet, but it definitely has more travel in the rear than it does up front. It's limited up front. I think I may have said that already, but each side has limiting straps on it. But I've definitely let the back kind of do what it needs to do. This climb, kind of a little, I guess it's sort of brag-worthy. I've got my two FJs that are built are the only other two. Well, I wouldn't say that. The other comp rigs that I have can do that climb too, but I haven't been able to do that with factory rails before. And this is just factory rails. I guess I kind of forgot to mention that. But with the ultra high clearance links, along with the flat skid, it seems to do breakovers really well. Spot on at 155 millimeter wheelbase. I have not weighed it. My apologies for that. I can always weigh it and kind of post that. What else? It's a fun little rig, you know? It's kind of spicy when you need it to be, like this little spot right here. You know, you can definitely gas it up and get where you gotta go. This gets a little monotonous here for a second, but I'm just trying to burn the tires in. These tires are still fairly fresh too, so they haven't really been broken in because I've never ran that Gladiator that much. Just a couple times on the indoor course and a few times outside. So I think tomorrow I will probably take this thing outside, see what it's going to do on my couple little outdoor courses that I have, and we'll take it from there, see what goes on. But super impressed on the short wheelbase on this. Just the way the thing is set up, the way the back end kind of floats a little bit more than the front, I think this has got a good setup. I just need to weight it maybe a little bit more. I think use a little more weight at the wheel, and I think it'll be just about perfect. So, super fun. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.